Around 14% of cancer patients will actually refuse chemotherapy because they're so concerned about the potential hair loss.
The reason why you lose your hair is because it's actually killing the cells around the hair follicles.
CAPSlocks is a scalp cooling system for patients undergoing chemotherapy to help mitigate hair loss.
You cool the scalp so that the blood vessels shrink and less of the chemotherapy drugs are actually going to your scalp.
In order to do the scalp cooling efficiently, we need to be able to cool the scalp down an hour before the chemotherapy medications start. And you also need to have the scalp cooled for 1 to 3 hours after the chemotherapy infusion has stopped. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I started my treatments just before the semester started in fall of 2023. And my sons had been saying, oh, you should seek out scalp cooling, this idea to be able to save your hair during chemotherapy. So I asked my oncologist whether or not we had that treatment capability here, and she said, no, we do not. However, she had been talking to a medical student at Carle, Illinois, who was really interested in pursuing making her own scalp cooling design. And that's how I got connected with Mahima Goyal. And then I found out that she was already working with an ME 470 team with Professor Nenad Belkovich. I was brought into that team really early to provide the students a firsthand experience of being a chemotherapy patient, losing my hair, what that is like, and then also just thinking about what we'd want in this design, making it compact and portable, inexpensive.
She was very, very helpful. One of the main components that we were thinking about was how people are going to carry this. They don't want to have to walk around holding this the whole time. So we were like, oh, we should make like a tote bag or a backpack that just fits this system like so perfectly.
But what I've observed, and even for myself, is when you go to these treatment sessions, you're there for hours. I was bringing a backpack with my laptop. I was bringing a blanket with me, snacks, and various other things. So they can't carry a backpack or a tote along with all this other stuff. So trying to think about other ways that we can make the device portable, like backpacks on wheels.
So the team from last semester, they created a lot of handover documents that were super helpful for us. We had access to all of their previous calculations, all their data. Their prototype was about double the size of this, and we got our scalp temperature down to 20.55 degrees Celsius. We got it down to just under $800.
Part of what we were working on was the portability of the device and having a portable power supply to allow the patient time away from the infusion center so that post-treatment time, maybe they could go home if they have a portable power supply that allows that cooling system to continue working, especially during transportation.
And so during that transportation time, they're able to rely on a removable battery. They're able to charge that up and keep it plugged in while they're at home if they need to, and then rely on the battery while they're moving from their home to the hospital. And then once they're at the hospital, they can plug it back in again.
I am very passionate about medical devices and just trying to make people more comfortable. I actually have like a long history in my family of various cancers. They've tried everything from chemotherapy, radiation. One of my great aunts actually had to undergo a mastectomy. Another one of my great aunts, we sadly lost her this January. So I could see like towards the end, a lot of her hair was falling out and she was just pretty miserable. When you're undergoing chemotherapy, you're already going to be really weak. One thing that you can control is like your hair and like how you present yourself. Scalp cooling systems are designed so that people can actually retain their hair and so that they feel better about themselves.
I think it was a great opportunity for me to be involved in this 470 project, not as the faculty advisor and not initially as like the customer, but maybe more of the voice of the customer. It was just very different to be able to provide that user-centered experience, to be advising them and thinking about how to incorporate what was the patient going through and what their family might be going through as they're being treated.